Hi, my name is Katy Moyer. I am a former pharmaceutical sales rep who also has a fitness career in sales slash the experience slash I do it because I love it. It's just nice that I get paid. So I come from both ends of the spectrum. I come from corporate pharmaceutical sales, and also I was growing a fitness career doing what I loved. And yes, when I started, I really said I would do this for free and I love it and I'm passionate about it. Where's the sales in fitness? And then I was at the other end with, no, these are your sales, these are your numbers, and you're going to hit them, and we're going to train you how to sell. So I've come from both ends of the spectrum. I've done both I've done the fitness presenting for 6 years, and I was a pharmaceutical sales rep for 5 years with different companies. So I've been trained, again, in pharmaceuticals with lots of different backgrounds or different selling quote unquote models. And what I want to share with you today is what is truly the art of selling, because selling is scary. And I've heard from so many people, oh, I don't want to be in sales. I don't like selling. Or they're really passionate about something and they say, but I'm not in sales. I just do it because I love it. Well, actually, everyone is in sales. And if you don't believe me, you should listen to Dave Ramsey, EntreLeadership. It's an incredible book. But everyone is in sales. If you have had to ask someone to do something for you that they didn't want to do, you are in sales. And the reason you're in sales is because all selling is what is the perceived value of something in exchange for someone's time, energy, or the cost. Because even if you're asking your spouse to go to a movie, that's their time. They are going to give you their time, even if it's even if it's a movie that they don't want to see or a movie that they don't really want to do, but it's something that you want to do. So they're going to give you their time because they know that that's important to you. So is it worth that 2 hours for them? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to ask your spouse. But my point is, when I think about every single thing I've ever done in sales, it comes down to this. And I don't know if you can see this. I have big handwriting, right? So perceived value. It's the triangle of perceived value, or what I call the triangle. And perceived value comes down to, does someone think it's worth their time? Does someone think it's worth their energy? Does someone think it's worth the cost, the monetary cost? And in the middle of that triangle, you see the word you. Another great book, People by You by Jeb Blunt. You should read that book. But all of the time, the cost, the energy, that can be negotiated. And you can negotiate that in a lot of different ways, and you can lower the cost, or you can keep the cost the same, but say you're going to give more energy or more time. Like, you can move all three of those players around, but what you can't change is you. And you are a very important piece to any sale, because your personality, your style, what you believe in matters, because sales is a transference of beliefs. And so when you say you're not in sales, or, well, I just don't want to be in sales because I don't want to be slimy. Yes, there are slimy salespeople out there. Trust me. Been in pharmaceuticals. I've also had to buy a car, and wow, it's crazy how slimy car salespeople are. However, I've also been quote unquote sold, and I didn't even feel like I was sold. And that's because I either felt that the person in the middle right here that I was working with was going to give me something that was valuable for my time, valuable for the price, or valuable for the energy. And at the end of the day, I really did trust this person. You can change everything in energy, time, and cost, but if that person does not trust you, it's going to be really hard to either competitively sell against another product or even just get the sale in general, because in sales is relationships. And it's always going to come down to, if you're asking somebody for something, what do they value? And you need to figure out, do they value their time more? Do they value their money? Do they value their energy? What do they value more? And that is honestly the essence of sales. And so I hope if you're not in sales, you think now, well, actually, I am in sales. And if you are someone who works with hard, fast numbers and someone tells you these are your numbers you have to hit in order to hit a bonus, maybe you should think about this. Or that book, People by You by Jeb Blunt, that's a really great book. I highly recommend it. It helped me a lot in my pharmaceutical career. And there's obviously tons and tons and tons of other selling books out there. And again, I've been in pharmaceutical sales, and I've been trained in 3 different companies with 3 different models, and it all came down to that. if a doctor trusted me and thought that I was really in it to give him the truthful answer and not just what the company dialogue was, I could get somewhere. Even if my product wasn't necessarily on insurance, because if you're in pharmaceuticals, you know what I'm talking about. The number one question nowadays is, well, is it on insurance? What's covered? What's not covered? Do you have a copay card? That are all, that stuff, yes, to a point it matters, but at the end of the day, if I had a doctor, I had to sell a testosterone treatment that we weren't on any insurance. Yeah, we had a copay card, but it was a kind of a pain in the butt to use our copay card. And my number one writer for that product was because he truly did trust me. I had to go in there for 6 months and just prove to him that I was honest, that I was going to tell him exactly what he wanted. I asked him what he valued, and he really did value time. He wanted me to come in there and give him 110% attention to what he wanted, not give me your sales pitch, give me what the company told you. He wanted me to give him time for him to ask all the questions, and eventually it did lead to trust, and he, again, became one of my biggest writers, where the cost of my product was a lot. The time and energy to write this thing and use that stupid copay card was a lot. But he trusted me. And that's how he became one of my biggest writers. So I hope this helps you. If you are in sales and you're wondering why you're not making the sale that you want to sell, well, what's important to that customer? Do you have a strong relationship with that customer? Do they trust you? Have you been honest with them in the past? And if you haven't, own up to it. Tell the customer, I haven't really been honest in the past. What I need you to know is this is what I stand for. What do you need from me to be more honest with you? Ask it. Because right now you're not making the sale. So if you're not making the sale now, what is holding you back from asking that question so that you can make the sale? Right? We always say the answer is no right now. So why wouldn't you ask? Because then at least you have a chance at changing it. At least you have a chance at yes. Right? I hope that inspires you, because it comes down to relationships. You and that person need to have trust, and you need to build a relationship. After that, you can move around time, energy, costs, and figure out what you need to provide to that customer so that they feel like they're getting more value from you than they're paying in a dollar amount. But you got to figure that out about that customer. And that's why when people try to put people in boxes and label them, and I hated that, because if someone's trying to sell to me and tell me I was in a certain box and this is the way I like to work, okay, great, put me in a box, but now you just lost my trust because I don't want you to put me in a box. I know, I just put this person in a triangle. That's not fair, right? But I hope this helps. Go make a sale. If you're struggling with making a sale, think about those 3 things and think about your relationship with that customer. And I hope this helps you with all your sales in the future. If you want to find out more about me, go to liveyour10.com, download the 10 steps to living your 10, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks so much for watching.